Hey, 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 Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, the Pajama Grandma, and your guide through this 30-day, but today's day 31, it's a bonus day of the free Painkillers 30-day challenge. Today, I want to share one of my favorite secret strategies with you, and you might not think it will work for you or that it's effective or that it's even possible, and it might be kind of woo-woo for you, and it was for me when I first heard about it and read about it. But I actually first read about it and heard about it, 30, maybe longer ago. It was in my early 20s when I was first exposed to the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I read it as I was, going to college and starting my career. And I thought it had cool stuff in it, but I never really did much with a lot of the material in it, like we do with a lot of things we're exposed to. Sometimes we... Excuse me, dog is barking and me coughing. Sometimes we have to be exposed to certain thoughts and ideas and information over and over and over again before we'll let ourselves actually hear it or see it or understand it. I'm no different. I mean, I don't know, ask my family. They'll tell you sometimes they've told me something 100 times and it'll be like the 106th time before I actually hear them telling me what it is they're trying to tell me or showing me something. I hate to break the news to them, but some of that is intentional. I mean, moms, if we listened to everything, we would be in information overload at all times. But today, I want to talk to you about something that I call ICU. And I just call it ICU because it's kind of medical and it's a cool name. And a lot of us have spent some time in our chronic pain and chronic illness career or journey in an ICU unit. Unfortunately, wish I could say I've never been there, but I have been. So, doesn't matter. But why I call it ICU is because it stands for my invisible counsel. And I can't remember why I added the U at this point, which is really a painful confession, but it's true. But I call it my ICU because it is like a life support system for me. And the invisible counsel, and I'm going to probably meat-ax the description, so if you really want the original description of it, go online, Google Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and in one of the final chapters, I can't remember which chapter it is right now, he talks about his secret weapon, which was also this invisible counsel. And on his invisible counsel, he, in his book, of course, if you have not read it, I would say everyone should read that book because everything he teaches and wrote about decades ago is still so true today. If not, it's even more applicable today, which is really fascinating that there's certain things in life and in the world that never change and that are evergreen. And those are the things that we really need to listen to and learn from, but how many of us really do that? For some of us, it takes hundreds of exposures. But the whole idea is that we have the ability in our minds and our imaginations as human beings to create whatever we want. And part of that is we can create a council or a committee of people that can be our advisors and our counselors and can help to coach us through whatever it is that we're trying to achieve or whatever it is we're going through. And I have always used a council in my businesses and running my businesses and in my career, but it wasn't until, after my cardiac arrest that I thought, oh my goodness, I could actually have my own health invisible counsel to help me change what's going on in my life, because obviously if you're going to drop dead, there's some stuff going on with your health that you're not paying attention to. And so I created my own health invisible counsel. And the cool thing about an invisible counsel is you can have whoever you want on it. You can have how many ever people you want on it, because it's just going on in my imagination and in my thoughts and in my subconscious mind that I'm having these little council meetings or committee meetings. I don't like committees, so I'm going to call them council, because I want them to be my counselors and advisors. Just like I've had mentors that have helped me in my life and coaches that have helped me in my life with different areas of my life. For example, real estate and business and just about every area of my life, I've had some kind of coaches and mentors in. Well, I'm like, why would I not do that for my health? So over the years, I've had some, but it wasn't until my sudden cardiac arrest that I thought, okay, I really need to hone in and use this idea, this concept in my favor. So I started creating my own invisible counsel. And on it, like I said, the neat thing about it is it doesn't have to be, it can be people that are dead, but it can also be people that are alive. It can be people that you want to tap into. I call it tapping into them and into their being and their energy without, they don't even know it actually. So for example, I have, like, on my health council, I have Oprah Winfrey, Lady Gaga. Now I don't know them. I've never met them, but in my subconscious mind and in my council meetings, I can tap into, and my subconscious can tap into the energy of how they would react to a certain health situation or how they would react to a different challenge, that they can advise me. And I have a lot of dead people on it. I have my grandfather, I have my father, because my dad actually worked his way through several heart attacks and several strokes. I mean, he never missed a beat. We never even knew, and he never even knew until later on in his life when he was having open heart surgery at Mayo down in Rochester, that he'd even had strokes and heart attacks before. He just kept going right through them. So I tend to keep going through everything until the dead thing. So I want him on my council, even though he's passed away a few years back now, and I miss him terribly. I love having him on my council because I can tap into all of the encouragement and all of the love that he showed me throughout my entire life, and I can relive those feelings of him being with me. I have people like Tony Robbins on my Invisible Health Council. Again, I've met Tony Robbins. I've been to some of his seminars. He's been a mentor to me, but I don't actually know him. And I know he's too busy that I would never be able to meet with him in person, but I can have him on my Invisible Council. I also have people that I know that are experts in the area of health. For example, my friend Cheryl Loras. She's on my Invisible Council. Now, she doesn't know it, but she might know it if she sees this video. But I can tap into her and her energy, even though I'm not with her and I'm not talking to her. Other people that have passed away that I have a lot of respect for that are on my council are Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer. You might not have even heard of them. Lynn Grabhorn. You might not know who that is, but they're people that are important to me. And so I invite them in to my Invisible Council meetings when I'm thinking about and considering, and I have a question about something related to my health and well-being. So that's not everybody on my health council, but that's a pretty good list of them. So what you do is you just create a committee or a council of people that you respect and want to have on your council. And then when you have a question or a thought about your health, you can tap into their energy and they will help advise you as to what you should do or what you shouldn't do. I ask my Invisible Council all kinds of silly things. I have even been known to ask my council whether I should eat caramel cake or not. Now, usually they say no, and I always listen to them. Sometimes I still want to eat it, but if they say no, it's not going to be in my best interest, then I don't do it. Now, that's kind of a silly example, but you get the idea. It doesn't have to be big life-altering things that you tap into your council for. I can tap into my council for things like, should I get this medical procedure? Should I take this medication? And the truth is, I always know the answer. The answer to any question I ask myself, I always know the answer. I just don't always trust the answer. So having this committee or council to tap into as well, it just gives me more reinforcement that I do know what I know is in my best interest or not in my best interest. So that is my secret weapon. And I encourage you to look up Napoleon Hill and read more about it because he does a much better job explaining it. Now, he does it with respect to success in business because he interviewed a bunch of millionaires to write the book Think and Grow Rich. I like to use it for all different areas of my life. Yep, I use it for business. I used it for running my businesses, but I also like to use it for my health because bottom line is, if we don't have our health, we don't have anything. I mean, and it's one of those things that we don't appreciate it until it's gone. Now, if you've listened to me for all these days, you know, and you have chronic pain, trust me, we with chronic pain or chronic illness, we appreciate our health. And actually ask yourself the question, though, did you appreciate your health before you lost it? I can totally guarantee that I did not appreciate my good health until I lost it in my early 20s and became chronically ill. I didn't appreciate it. I took it for granted. I thought, like all other teenagers for the most part, that I was invincible and nothing would ever hurt or harm me. And of course, I was in for a rude awakening, as all of us with chronic pain have been. It's a very rude awakening. Chronic pain sucks. And there's no other way to look at it. So your challenge, your bonus challenge for today is to create your own invisible council. You can decide how many members you want on your council. And guess what? It can change over time. The people I have on and off my council change all the time. The question that I'm asking or the problem that I'm faced with or the obstacle or challenge, whatever that is, I invite different people onto my council meeting depending on what that problem or that obstacle is, because different council members have different areas of expertise, just like we do. So you get to decide how many people you want to have on it. You get to decide who you want to have on it. But my challenge for you today is create an invisible council. Pick a couple of members and then just spend a few minutes in quiet meditation, having a little committee meeting, an invisible council meeting in your head, and ask them a question. You know, maybe the biggest area or challenge with respect to your chronic health. Ask them that question and see what comes up. That's it. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey. I hope you got as much out of it as I did. I really enjoyed meeting with you and sharing with you every single day as part of this chronic pain challenge. And I would love it if you would share in the comments below how you feel today versus how you felt 30 days ago. I love your feedback. Go ahead and share. If you have any questions for me, share those in the comments as well, because I'm here to help you in any way that I can. And I just want to wish you a pain-free, happy life, because we all deserve to kill chronic pain and live the life that we're meant to be living, not the one we feel like we're stuck with. Thanks, everybody. Bye.